chaos.
All right. This is some crazy, bat crap crazy stuff going on here. And that's what we're best at here at Rowan Roper. When there's something in the news in the day and you go, scratch your head and you go, my God, are these people crazy or what? You know you're going to hear it here.
Okay.
Now, today I walked in this morning over at the newsroom over at the Fox Chicago, and the whole newsroom is on fire about this Joel Brodsky story. I'd say not Joel. It's a Drew Peterson story.
It's Joel Brodsky.
But it is, well,
it's Joel.
Joel provided some material, I suppose. That's the best way to say it. Joel is on the Super Celebrity Hotline. Joel!
Yeah, hey.
Hey, we heard that grumbling and mumbling about super celebrities.
I want you to put Inagata DeVita back on.
I know. I bet you were in a high school band, weren't you, Joel?
All right. I used to just show up for the groupies, but that's okay.
All right, let me throw. Okay. That's
well, I was young, you know.
Yeah. All right. Now here's the deal. Here's the story as it goes. The National Enquirer says that there is this woman, Diana Grandel. She is 40 years old. Grandel, whatever the pronunciation is there. Lives in Bolingbrook, or in the southwest suburbs. She is a. She claims that she has received letters from Drew Peterson from behind bars, from the Will County Detention Facility, that are sexual in nature, and that she doesn't feel comfortable about this. First of all, let me just... Now, you're under oath, sir. Okay. So let me just ask you...
I thought you were calling me about the appellate court decision. We were going to talk about serious stuff.
Oh, yeah, right. Brodsky for Supreme Court. All right, so here's the question. Did he send these letters, and if so, why?
Well, I mean, they've been exchanging letters since back in 2009. But I know that she sent him... back in 2010, she started sending him pictures of her in bathing suit and bikini and such. So, he'd been locked up almost a year at that point. So I'm assuming maybe the letters got a little flirtatious after that. I don't know. I don't see copies of the letters. But I know that when she first contacted me back in 2009, she sent emails about what a wonderful guy Drew was, because he credits her with saving her life. That she was almost stabbed and killed by her father, and that Drew came to her rescue and got her away and actually helped her set up a new house and get away from this abusive relationship. And I think I even emailed your producer.
And we put these up on the website on our at WLSAM.com. Yeah. The people who run that did that. But
Joel, you say that this woman's father almost stabbed and killed her,
saying? That's what her email said.
But when you say almost stabbed and killed her, he didn't stab her and Drew, physically saved her. She just felt like she was...
No. He
while he was a police officer?
According to the email, he came after her with a knife.
And while Drew was a police officer, he saved her?
Yeah, exactly.
Years ago.
In the line of duty. This is 25 years ago.
So they've known each other since she was a young girl, and Drew, acting in his capacity as a police officer, intervened and helped her.
According to the email, he went pretty much above and beyond the call of duty and really trying to help her out.
Right, and so she talks about in her in these emails to you that you've now made public. She goes back, and I just want to flesh this out a little bit. She goes into detail about how Drew was important to her, and she wanted to be helpful to him in some way, shape, or form. Did she testify for you? Was she ever a witness for you for anything?
No, if I guess she... Well, I guess not now, but she was obviously considered as perhaps a
character witness.
But character witnesses are they're very limited in what they could say. So I don't even know if she was even a potential witness. I really doubt it. But I think she showed kind of what Drew always said. Look, he was a police officer for 30 years. Decorated police officer. He must have done something right. And I think this just proves the point, that there's two sides. Well, not even two sides. I think one side, but to the public view of Drew Peterson, there's certainly more than this media, the general media of the man painting the man.
Or the Will County prosecutor. I mean, we could go with that, too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so in this note, you also sent us a note that she had sent to Drew, in which she discusses fairly significant in detail an experience she had with a police officer back when she was 15 years old that didn't go well, in which a police officer, she claims, requested sexual acts from her in his police car. Is that right? That's
what she says. I have no way of knowing whether that's truthful or not. So
right, and she's discussing this with Drew. Why in her letter to Drew that you sent us? Do you have any idea why she would have been discussing that with Drew?
Well, I think that there was I guess they were talking about people testifying and that everybody that testified against Drew and I don't know that this man actually didn't testify, but that everybody isn't it's not like Drew is the evil one and every other police officer is is totally pure. I think that was the tenor of what they were talking about, even though this really had nothing to do with any witness at the hearsay hearing or any witness at the upcoming trial. I think they were just having a conversation about how.
But this letter you sent, I mean, there's some kind of graphic descriptions. I mean, it's certainly PG-13 and maybe R, but she's not requesting anything sexual from him in this letter that you provided to us.
Well, that letter, that's the one. Well, if you look at the beginning of the letter, and she says that she's enclosed a picture of her getting out of the pool.
Yeah.
This is the letter where she sent him the picture of her in the bikini and the bathing suit.
Okay. But Joel, the Inquirer is saying the 57-year-old former police sergeant asks the single mother of two for her measurements, begs for a photo of her in a bikini, wants to know if she has any sexually transmitted diseases, and describes what he wants to do with her in bed. I just think of your smile and holding you in the dark, feeling your body against mine, he says, allegedly. I want to spend a lot of time with my lips on yours. Mm-hmm. That's the letter they're quoting purportedly from
what
Drew.
They actually quote, really, I mean, it's kind of sophomoric. I mean, that's not what you would call porno. I mean, not exactly pornographic stuff. That's pretty.
It's romantic. Let's go with romantic novel.
Well, it's,
you ain't got nothing, do you? That I can catch.
Well, I don't see them quoting that, but and that doesn't even. I don't see him doing that, and that doesn't even sound like something like him. So
you believe that that's not accurate? You believe that he never wrote that?
I'm absolutely not. That just.
What happened if they What if they produce those letters?
Well, I'd like to see them if they're going to produce them. I would really like to see those letters, because that just doesn't even sound like anything Drew would do. The mushy romantic stuff sounds more like Drew. Nothing.
Oh, he's a softie.
Well, I think that's kind of his. With all due respect, Joel, I think that your client likes women who have daddy issues. And the fact of the matter is that looking for people who have a little bit that have a. They may be. He's a romantic guy if he's going to be saving somebody from a situation. I mean, that certainly was his romantic history. He was going into saving.
Well, I know, but this girl, I think he helped her out when she was 15, and they didn't have any contact for 25 years. So
is that now?
Like that's he's a predator.
That's the question I have. And I'm not saying he's a predator. I'm just saying in this particular case, I'm not saying he's a predator. What I'm saying is that he certainly does have a pattern that's established that he wants to be the saving guy. Now, that's the part I want to get to here.
Well, that's that's kind of a cop thing too, I suppose. Police officers always want to be the hero, and I think that's why the divorce rate is so high among police officers. It's I think the highest among any profession, and I think that's pretty acknowledged that's because police officers always want to be see themselves as being the hero and the rescuer.
Yeah, I think a lot of cops wouldn't like the comparison here, but
he was a very decorated cop for 30 years, but I think they'll certainly agree that cops getting a divorce is nothing new,
Okay, all right. So let's talk about the contact here. So in this period of time, this woman had reached out to you as the attorney, or to him originally.
I guess she didn't know how to get a hold of him, so she wrote me an email saying, "I knew Drew back 25 years ago. He really helped me out. He really, he almost saved my life. I'd like to, express my support for him." And my response to her was, "Well, you can always write him at the Will County Jail. here's the address. And then, a year goes by, and I don't monitor Drew's mail. A year goes by before I got a copy of that other letter, the handwritten letter, and the only reason that was sent to me was because there was a 1 out of 1,000 chance that some of that information may come in handy, and it didn't, and it's kind of irrelevant to the whole case. But I just stuck it away in the file, and then when I saw this article in the Inquirer, I said to myself, well, that name rings a bell. And I pulled out the letter, and I said, "Oh my God, look at she's complaining about the pictures, but she's the one that sent them."
All right, let me ask you where the case stands at the moment, because it's under the radar. There's so much else going on here, but I know that you guys are waiting on a Supreme Court decision. Is that right?
The appellate court, the 3rd District Appellate Court decision, and as soon as that comes down, we're probably 30, 45 days away from a trial, so we could have a trial pretty quickly.
Unless it doesn't come down on your side, and then it will go to the Supreme Court.
Well, I know.
Or either side, I would imagine, would take it to the state Supreme Court.
I think that, I feel very well after the oral arguments. I'm pretty confident we're going to get a decision that's going to be favorable. But to tell you the truth, I think that this is not, the Supreme Court doesn't hear almost never hears interlocutory matters, things that before trial. I don't think that this case is going to the Supreme Court at this point. I think that whatever the appellate court rules,
you'll go with
rules, and we're going to go to trial.
Both sides will go with it, and then they'll take it up afterwards.
If obviously, if there's acquittal, it's over.
Right, but if there's
a conviction, then
that's something you guys will take up.
Then we go up, start up the appellate ladder. But if there's an acquittal, it's done. It's finished.
All right, Joel Brodsky, attorney for Drew Peterson.
Among others.
But, yeah. I have noticed that the book of business is getting bigger, Joel.
It's okay. It's okay. But I'm taking a week's vacation now. So,
that's good.
Of course, that's when the appellate decision will come down, obviously, when I'm on vacation. So.
Oh, is there an actual date for that?
No.
Oh, you're just saying,
assuming. Drew was arrested, and I was in an airplane on my way to New York for a vacation. So, obviously, when I go on vacation, obviously something important happens. So.
All right. All right, Joel, thanks very much. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Thanks, Joel.
Joel Brodsky. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Now, here, okay. This goes to a grander issue, which we'll take up on the other side.
Okay.
Which is that women and guys in prison.
Right.
Because, she apparently did send him, she was corresponding with him at one point, and then the correspondence turned odd. Now, she did, if he requested, she says he requested the picture in the bikini, and then she sent it to him.
Right.
When I request a picture of somebody, if it's, you have this sort of, hey, how you doing these days? I never ask for it in a bikini.
No, that's pretty direct.
Yeah. And also in prison, what do you think he's going to be doing with that picture of her in a bikini?
You can only lift so many weights.
Stay here.
You're listening to Rowe and Roper, 890 AM, WLS.